Hello and welcome to Crimson Moon. Alright, this will be the last part of Decoration Disorder and Disconnection, a fan visual novel adaptation of Kinoko Nasu's light novel series. In well, last time some guy was captured by tomatoes, and so I don't really know what this part last section is going to be about. So let's just go right into it. It was a lazy afternoon talk. Feigning seriousness, Suranui asks, "What do you think about feminism, senpai? About that possess on the fourth floor? She's only attacking males, so maybe she's kind to women? How do you like it?" Ah, yes, Kirisu-san can keep silent. He's not into women anyway. Blabbermouth. That's still better than wanting men. And anyway, Suranui, feminism is about female equality. If she's only attacking men, then she's not a feminist. That's called discrimination. Alright, this is definitely the whole chivalry thing again. Oh, you're right. Senpai, so in other words, the possessive sign you are guarding now is disregarding women? Well, if she's letting them live, then she's not disregarding them, but maybe valuing them. Feminism might be the right word after all. Female equality that Kiriso mentioned is an old song. The meaning was changed, and women just got more authority. So much that some started to worship and idolize them. Yeah, she's a feminist in the conventional sense. She's kind to women, that's for sure. Right, but who knows if she's not attacking women or just can't attack women. Things are worshipped because they are fear. An enemy. But with what manners? By the way, are you not the same senpai? Okay, there's the senpai is tomato-san then. I don't think so. But I think that being kind is way easier, isn't it? I would have strictness and justice more, though. Still, exaggerating is also somehow. Otherwise, get ready for public blame. It's like a duel. If you take all the hits, you can call it respect for the opponent. So then Arika Senpai took his sister quite somehow. Wait, what does my sister have to do with it? Well, do you have a younger sister and you are hiding her from us? There was some displeasure, even hostility in that phrase. I didn't really hide anyone, but I didn't want my acquaintances to know about her. Okay, so it's Arika then. I have to admit I have a hard time knowing who the point of view is in this game. Sometimes it's intentional too. Oh, come on, can't a man have a sister or two? Right, Kirisu? Can't? I'm the only son. Arika, you gotten too greedy somehow. If only I had such a beautiful sister, I would see my life in rainbow colors. It's 2-on-1. Just a minute, how do you know that? Senpai, you didn't object about her being beautiful? I just accidentally found out about it. One girl I know that was a classmate of your sister, showing me the photos. Come on, seriously, introduce us. These two seriously don't understand anything. They can't even imagine what creature that is. Two simpletons sitting like chicks with their mouths open. Pee, pee, we want food and an explanation. You know what? Trust me. You don't want to mess with her. Remember how 2 years ago something happened on Chikura Hill? My sister was one of the culprits. What? Both of them tilt their heads. You can find a man in Chikura who will know about that tragedy. Massacre de la Saint-Barthélemy by the possessed, with agonist disorder on a terminal stage, mindless, aggressive to everyone and everything, killing left and right. At least 30 houses fell victim. Just about 10 In just about an hour, 10 deaths, 6 heavily wounded, 13 wounded. The most unprecedented but wonderful biological catastrophe in the history of Shikura. Why, wonderful, because in just a couple of days, all of Auriga's hospital's inhabitants were saying in one voice that if terminals go wild, a two-digit number of victims won't cut it. Shikura Hill, 2 years ago. Ah, it was when your parents were killed. Yeah, the criminal paid us a visit in the end. Well, not really a visit, it's her own home. Or maybe she just decided that the party had just started and came to rest. Or she came to end unfinished business before leaving. I don't even want to think what that has going on in her head. But in the end, that breather was the beginning of an even larger bloodshed. So that night you were at home, when that tragedy was happening in the neighborhood. Didn't they announce an evacuation? While I was sleeping, I actually averted my gaze. I get it, so that's what means being a sister. She could kill you at any moment, but she came to say goodbye. She wasn't watching you all these years in vain. In vain, Arika senpai. Well, it's hard to argue. In the end, I'm so callous. I only woke up to the pain in my left hand when my parents were already dead. But that callousness is useful sometimes. That night, that in a dress in my bed, a completely missing arm, police car lights clearly visible from the windows of the second floor, and the explosion in the end. Like I gotten myself into an Ultraman's war with an aliens monster. My callousness allowed me to completely understand all that hell and not pass out. That's why I'm grateful to it. What kind of girl was your sister? In a photo she looks peaceful like a princess or a French doll. What did she use? A knife, a saw? That's the virtue of Siranui. She continues asking questions until the topic of interest isn't completely covered. She doesn't like horror stories but doesn't mind bloody stories like this that actually happened. No one can forget how cheerful she was carving a chicken in high school. Okay, so I was right, she was into true crime or something. Well, I didn't see anything like that. When I lost an arm, she was unarmed. Tore it off with her bare hands? Like a scene from the combination of a bloody movie, right? But it doesn't matter. Even a scene like that will look better than what actually happened there. That's why I remained silent. Yeah, she didn't like the instruments from long ago, but nunchucks or bilboquets she never left alone. Played with them until they broke. A bilboquet. Your sister is really a rascal, she said, blushing. Translated from Suranui's language, that probably means lewd rascal. Bilboquet is a small rocket with a ball on a rubber string. You come back home, ask your dorm landlady. She might have something like that. Okay, I'll ask her when I'm home. Forgive the dummy, okay? Suranui was shyly scratching her cheek. She was that embarrassed for not knowing the entertainment of common folk. Even though she was acting like a child, her behavior was quite dignified. Anyway, she doesn't like weapons, though I hear she was walking the streets with a lot of hidden sheep or bats. But she's possessed, right? And no one noticed that? My sister was one of those changing on the inside. Most possessed grows new organs and physical strength, and it probably had all the changes going to strength. That's why you can see it until the end. It won't be interesting anyway. Was she a nice girl? Well, made she made her parents proud. They were turning a blind eye on it, I think. How about you? Were you appreciating your sister? In the sense that I wasn't bothering her, yes. She was sharpening her teeth for you, though. Yeah, I just can't remember for what. Suranui hit the bullseye. I absolutely can't remember what I could have done for it to say, Oni-chan, I just can't wait to kill you. So the reason could be not me after all, though I don't know for sure anymore. Probably. I guess something just went wrong. Shosai, are you here? I was interrupted at the best moment possible. Boom, boom. Our boss, Tomamato-san, knocked in the door. She was as usual in a strict costume. From inside her coat, two twin Berettas were easily poking out. The woman didn't come alone. Two policemen in uniform were hanging around nearby. Good day. Good work, I see. So where? There, alright? Don't you want to join us? Thanks, but not now. I leave for a bit. Make me some coffee. Mato-san waved her hand and said bye and left. It shows such ease as if she just said, I'll just go put this paper into shredder. White snow was like fog. Mato-san walked into it and disappeared into the office building. Policemen following her stayed at the entrance. Well, that's right. There will only be a bother for her. Wow, Mato-san is stern as usual. So cool. If I were a girl, I would fall in love. Suranui Mihaya pat the back of the front seat. Maybe it's saying if I weren't a girl. Nah, never mind. You can fall in love with her, Suranui. It's all fine. No matter how you look at it, Suranui is still a girl. Why are you staring at her? You got what she tried to say by that. Can you imagine Toma as a guy? I can't. If we are going this way, it's easier to imagine us. Exactly. Sarika, did she ask you about the possess? If he hits Mato-san, we'll get all the punishment. Kurisu just probably wanted to know if we can run or if it's useless already. Then again, Suranui is here today. No, don't worry, Mato-san only knows that we have a possess here. That is really unlucky. She said beat with one hand, but don't let her flee. Soon the deserted town got filled with gunshot sounds. Then sounded some orderless resistance, and then came weirdly rhythmical sounds of fights. Bang, bang, crank, bang. Of course, I'm used to it already, but guessing the overpowering from the sounds, that's a bit too much. She's so harsh. Yeah, I already said that she's very unlucky, but generally, anyone that catches Mato-san loses all their reserves of luck they had. My sister too. She would have fled if it wasn't for Mato-san. And again, what perplexed looks. Right, if they didn't know about my sister, then they don't know about Mato-san too. Now the two are in the what are you talking about mode. Honestly, ignorance is bliss for them. Curiosity killed the cat. As English people say, that's how misfortune spreads. But are you that curious? Okay, but don't regret asking later. Of course they want to know. Then again, they ask her about it, and it won't be complete without a story about Mato-san. This is a long story. Basically, Ishisue Arika wakes up one night. He's already an invalid. Outside the car was cold, just like that night. that silent night of grating bone, of budding beautiful life. February 2003. An arrest performed in Ishisui residence was part of a police operation of rescuing an A syndrome carrier with unusual symptoms. For an assistant police inspector, Toma Mato, it was their first independent task. Besiegement of the second block of Shikura Hill was over in 20 minutes. 40 policemen were mobilized. Half of them were already working on Hinomori Shusei's case, were calling for his arrest. The other half were the usual patrolmen. We were ordered to mobilize armed men, but I see that not many of you are actually armed here. Well, whatever, attention, everyone, open fire under the smallest threat. Just don't dare to get used to it. We have a special case today. Policemen usually didn't have service weapons with them. It was only issued before the arrest and returned after. You can simply get it when you want it. Even during emergencies, you have it holstered as a symbol of intimidation, not enforcement, but there are always exceptions. Even if there was an order to get armed from above, policemen may refuse to shoot. Intimidating patients with bullets was considered by them as a pretty bad idea. Do that and you can wave goodbye to your career. Tomamato was giving orders. People behind her were quickly blocking all the ways out of the besieged house. Everybody got it? If the suspect decides to break through, be prepared to open fire. I guess this will look more like a hunt than an arrest. Assistant Inspector Mato-san, can we begin now? Yes, don't let him go at any cost. Any survivors inside? You can only look at the yard, but Ishisue Kanata notified us about just a couple of corpses inside. What about others? Neighbors were evacuated, but 2 people were missing during the check. They are probably still inside. Well, we'll see then. Room on the 2nd floor, right? Give me the floor plans. So looks like it's quite narrow inside. I'll manage alone. Everybody else split into groups. Higher ranking ones. Protect the newbies. If it's their first arrest mission. Roger, when do we start? In a minute. I'm thinking if I should take my favorite shotgun. It's my private property, so don't get carried away. Assistant Police Inspector Tomamato went back to her car. Peering from the top, a Benelli Super 60 was a real work of art. It even had a self-loading system. And though it was heavier than the usual semi-automatic guns, it wasn't less reliable. Apparently, this was the weapon selected for one-handed shooting. The woman turned into a real hunter. She tied her long hair, put on her capturing suit, and gently placed 2 Berettas into the holsters on her belt. Let's begin. Don't forget to place the ambulances. Don't give the detainees to the city department. Looks like the Origa's hospital is getting another grade D patient. Fixing her grip on the shotgun, she started walking to the house. The cold night was a great addition to the police operation. From the depths of the Ishisue mansion sounded an inhuman scream. From somewhere far away, barking was heard. Yeah, even the looks of a younger girl couldn't confuse them. This beautiful dress was soon especially for today's bloody night. The annoying sound of police sirens was heard from the outside. Why did the police react so fast? Why are the casualties so high? How many corpses are there in total? Frowning her elegant eyebrows, the girl was gliding down the corridor with light steps. Well, the parents died, that's for sure. Right now they are lying in the guest room, not letting each other go, even in the last moment of their life. Fluttered up in the stairs. at the corner of the second floor is Oni-chan's room. It was becoming restless outside. Sirens sounded louder, but right now it didn't matter a single bit. We must calculate it somewhere after all, apparently. The girl abruptly opened the floor, entered and locked it. She then partly closed the blinds to get rid of distractions. Person in the room was sleeping quietly, and a smile came over her face again. With pleasure and without restraint, we will get what we want. The room on the second floor was locked, and voices could be heard from the inside. Without a second thought, Tomamato destroyed the door with a high-caliber shot and froze in confusion. What is this? The dark doom there was a guy and a girl. She hugged him around the neck. He looked angry and at the same time sad. The girl laughed in a velvet voice. The suspect, Hinomori Shusei, dubbed the Moon Demon, was nowhere to be seen. The blame is usually laid on a male. However, when the policewoman saw the guy's arm, she understood everything. Tomamato momentarily turned to the girl in the white dress, unholstered a Beretta and aimed for her left shoulder. A gunshot. With a short squeal, the girl jumped from the bed in a blink of an eye, making the bullets hit a wall. Moment later, the shotgun barrel shot up and a thunderous gunshot was heard. Kia! In a rain of wooden splinters from the ceiling, a snow-white lump landed on the ground. The girl, realizing that she cannot escape, as her opponent was pushing forward. She avoided the shotgun shot only by changing jump trajectory from ceiling to a wall. Just what is this? Holding a piece dropped from the ceiling in her hand, the girl stood up and Tomamato immediately shot her left shoulder. The white dress got further stained with dark red. Ah! As blood flowed between the girl's fingers, she raised her hand up and started licking small droplets off. Then she looked at the policewoman who was holding her aim on her. Who taught you such manners, auntie? Saying that, she threw the ceiling piece. A thunderous gunshot. The debris still hit the woman, after which both realized that it was a big mistake. The white dressed girl threw a piece, which was destroyed by Tomamato's shot. Second later, 6 bullets pierced her. Gunshot, 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 gunshot. To stop the criminal, Mato fired 2 more times, dropped the shotgun to the ground, grabbed the other gun, and kept feeding lead to her target. The policewoman was just a toy to the girl. The girl was just a possessed to Tomamato. Nevertheless, both of them considered the other a worthy opponent. Still, both of them realized their physical differences, and neither went easy on the other. Their characters didn't get along well. As for mutual hatred, it couldn't be put to words. Ah! And after getting shot 9 times point blank, the girl was still standing. It appears that she was only worried about her white dress, which now looked like a piece of wet, torn cloth. Here, here, you want some more? Was she really worried about her garment more than about her injuries? What an irritated shout! The girl attacked Tomamato. A tremendous strong kick. Gunshots. A storm of splinters. Gunshots. A deadly dance of 9mm beads. With each shot, the girl's power increased to 50 kilograms. 100 kilograms, She almost broke a wall with an accidental hit. Even a dozen point-blank shots couldn't take her down. For a second, both of them froze. The girl looked at the torn clothing that remained on her body and clicked her tongue. Tomamato dropped a pair of ammo-less guns to the ground. A ringing silence. The criminal suddenly jumped and the policewoman simultaneously kicked the shotgun up from the ground. A thunderous gunshot. Incredible. The girl, instantly changing her job trajectory, went to the side. The shot, barely grazing her hand, pierced the wall. Tomamato was worried about the victim who was lying in the bed all this time. The girl realized that she has nothing to do here anymore, and ignoring everything, jumped out of the window and onto the roof. The policewoman was pondering about what to do with the weapons. Unthinkable. Even a shotgun doesn't do a thing to her. A rifle was too dangerous in a closed-up space like this. The woman picked up the pistols, reloaded them, hoping that they can be of use after all. "Excuse me, I'm with the police," she said to a lying guy. "I'm performing an arrest of a possessed. Please stay here." Holding a Beretta in each hand, the policewoman got out of the window and jumped to the roof of a neighboring house. "It took a while, but we are getting our Nasu battle scene." I've been thinking the sequels will probably have a lot more action scenes with everything they are setting up. Tomamato had 4 clips with 16 bullets each, a total of 64 bullets. But no matter how many she had, if that critter doesn't even care about 10 point-blank shots, she couldn't imagine how to deal with it. When the policewoman came to the second floor of a neighboring house, she was greeted by the sound of an old CD player. "What's that?" The sound suddenly stopped. The woman couldn't believe her eyes as the CD player, now looking like a small sandbag, was grabbed by a feminine hand that broke it like it was an everyday thing. She made the technology into a huge blunt murder weapon. "Shall we continue?" With an incredible speed, she threw the CD player towards the policewoman. Leaning to the side, Tomamato shot the flying object down. But it was just the beginning. The player turned it into scraps. The girl stretched her hand and said, "That's my weapon." That fraction of the girl that has already turned it into a beast in human form had absolutely incredible abilities. Speed and power of her muscles, stunning resourcefulness, crazy amount of energy and lightning fast reflexes, amazing resilience and metabolism. Any object that could possibly harm a human turns into a lethal weapon in such a hands. Everyday environment became a hell on earth. The book on the table, pencils, pens, furniture, hundreds of items became Tomamato's enemies. Unthinkable whirling, incredible power. How could 2 guns help that? As usual, the inconspicuous room became a lethal weapon. The girl became a mixer of death. She relentlessly destroyed everything her hands could reach. Just what the hell is this? The policewoman managed to survive in this storm. She was dodging, hitting, shouting, tried to destroy the objects the girl was about to grab. All of it was useless, no matter what weapon Tomamato could have. The girl was coming out unscathed. Irritated and confused, the possessed girl screeched at the top of her voice. She had nothing that could be used in a fight anymore. There were no mere objects capable of killing a human. Breaking down a wall, she flew into the next room, full of everyday objects. However, the policewoman was prepared and ready to aim for the girls. Quickly grabbing a suitcase, the possessed started protecting herself from a hail of bullets, mostly covering her head. Apparently, a brain injury will be fatal, as she won't be able to move. Not a ruthless hail of bullets. The possessed could take that attack. However, that was the reason she had to be killed right now. But suddenly, both pistols stopped and the possessed lowered the suitcase, after which she immediately leaped towards the policewoman. With a full swing, she threw the suitcase into Tomamato's head. That hit was way beyond human capabilities, and being a normal human, the policewoman could only block the attack as fast as possible with her own hit. What? The suitcase made a pitiful cracking sound. The girl immediately leaped to a wall as Tomamato finished reloading her guns, but the moment was lost. The suitcase was pretty small for this possessed. She reached out her hand towards the bed, but the policewoman destroyed the case with a precise shot. Damn. The girl broke another wall and slipped outside. She didn't have enough weapons. She hastily ran into the next house. Tomamato followed her with an enviable agility. The criminal was soaked in blood. The policewoman didn't have a single scratch, despite everything she had to go through. She wasn't getting conceit. However, the girl was the one with the upper hand in battle. Tomamato was a normal human. If she gets beaten or cut up, she'll die. Unlike the girl who will live as long as her brain is alive. The possessed also realized that, so she used only the left hand, always covering her head with the right one. The policewoman continued her pursuit. Tomamatos. Speaking. Second car, report in. Target is moving along the first block. Get ready to open fire. I can handle this alone. If I don't report in 5 minutes, you are moving under command of Police Inspector Tamura. Putting away her radio, the policewoman reloaded her guns. The last clip. Soon as I'm out of ammo, I'll be killed. So before that, the possessed needs to be rendered helpless. Just what am I going to do with your head? The policewoman was thinking how she doesn't know any living beings even slightly resembling this criminal. That's why she didn't wish to kill her. She wanted to catch her alive. After all, the girl wasn't immortal. Her body was becoming weaker the more Toma was shouting. She'll probably be enough if her limbs are severe. She won't stop breathing while her brain is alive. The woman was absolutely sure of that. How? Why? The girl wiped her tears while walking. She wasn't crying from pain. She just couldn't understand why she can't kill this woman. The haunting thought was stuck in her mind like an iron rod. There she is. An unfamiliar house, an unfamiliar kitchen. The girl immediately grabbed a knife to cut the policewoman up and fiercely attacked, destroying a microwave even on her way. But Tomamato dexterously dodged it. Suddenly the criminal girl felt blinding pain in her fingers. She realized then that they are broken and the knife is in the hands of her pursuer. Wow, you are like a magician. The girl froze for a second. She was so amazed with this turn of events, she forgot where she was. A sharp blade sunk into the torn flesh in a blink. The dress already black became crimson again. Screech. The knife broke, meeting the bone, and the policewoman threw the useless handle away. Damn you! Forks pierced the air. Tomamato dodged two of them. The third one grazed her hand holding a gun. The sound of three gunshots resonated in the kitchen. This was the last drop. Every item from the surrounding flew towards the policewoman. Curly, computer, frying pans, oven, a couch, even the plasma TV. That cursed girl's actions did not follow any kind of logic. Everything she touched got torn to bits and pieces. Tomamato dropped her gun and went into hand-to-hand combat. She was just playing with her, or she was just afraid to kill her. With every hit of mine, I asked myself a question. Why doesn't it work? My experience betrayed me, my knowledge betrayed me. The girl was superhuman. The policeman was an expert. My natural gift was shattered by a still, hard willpower. The spirit, polished by time, triumphed in 5 minutes. I lost. The girl turned to flee. She wasn't looking for the next room filled with weapons. She was actually running away. The fight was nearing its end. If the possessed really wanted to disappear, the policewoman would never be able to catch her. That would be simply impossible. The girl could be saved by her legs alone. All Tomamato could do right now was chase her. The girl could leap from building to building. But how frustrating. Damn. She had the upper hand in every fight. She could easily win, but instead she ran away. The girl jumped down from the roof to a stone road. The landing was too rough. Her body was too full of bullets, and she was too tired. That's why she didn't immediately notice a line of police cars in front of her. Fire! Hell of lead assaulted the girl, but she managed to jump away. She jumped onto a roof of a neighboring house, leaving the police squad empty-handed. But the possessed was on the edge, wasting too much energy on her pursuer. She wouldn't be able to kill that many policemen. The girl turned back to her house. There should still be food there. She flew through the night like a ballet dancer. She was always proud of her legs. Right now these legs were barely holding up to her fatigued body. She couldn't get to a second floor right away, so she just sneaked from the yard into the living room. Hi. Tomamato was waiting for her there. Here. She attacked now. She could win, even on the verge of death. The girl had a chance to win. The policewoman also felt like her opponent was getting ready for a final round. The broken possessed didn't have any strength anymore. She couldn't overcome the fear of losing. Till this moment, the thought that she could lose never even crossed her mind. Just like this woman, she didn't know a failure. That's why right now she had to go all out. But no matter how much she tried, she couldn't gather any strength. I won't lose. It was arrogance broken by defeat. The girl talked about what could have possibly happened. Why couldn't she win? She had a lot of power, however, just as much recklessness and foolishness. As this thought appeared in her mind, anger started growing from the depths of her consciousness. That's so? Why don't you use this? Tomamato, turning to the girl, threw her a gun. A moment of silence. The ammo was probably long gone, but the girl gave in to temptation and grabbed the weapon. She was only pursued by failure so far. It was a two-handed weapon, and when she tried to finally overcome the layers of mistakes she has made, to give her life a chance to continue. Finally, you use both your hands. A clang of a knife and a blade entered at the base of the girl's neck. She started to silently fall on her back. Life was gone from her eyes. Just before her death, she showed her true face. Is that so? If you don't have a goal, why are you born? Why are you hoping? If you don't have a goal, why are you thinking? Why are you dreaming? That was the reason of her defeat, self-defense, putting the lifespan at the forefront. But that didn't matter anyway. She won't be the same as before. At this very moment she was allowed to grow, even if it's in Thomas' favor. But that is yet to come. Right now, without realizing that her life was saved, the girl was in the state of a newborn, cutting off the umbilical cord. The brain only barely able to work, the girl's power was lowered by an order of magnitude. In other words, it was over. The round between Tomato and the possessed ended with the human's victory. I'm just thinking. Toma looked down at the defeated girl. Picking up her favorite weapon, she shot the rest of the bullets inside the girl's body, just in case. You don't even know how to use usual objects like this. The policewoman thought that fighting on the same level with those possessed is not so boring after all. Well, Matt-san is as capable as you would expect. And that's how it was. Shh. 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 Heavy silence filled the van. The sounds of sipping coffee and milk tea. The true story about that night's survivor, Ishizue Shosai. Kirisu and Suranui were clearly expecting a heartbreaking tragedy, but after Tomamato's appearance, apparently realized that it wasn't that bad. During the show, or rather the storytelling, everyone's present understood to the bones that Mato-san is not to be trifled with. I really hope he narrated every scene exactly like it was written. Tomani-san is really strong, isn't she? Well, that's apparent by her body. And she's also a doctor, right? Who knows, even if she's walking around the hospital dressed in white, that doesn't mean she's curing any patients. I like to believe she could at least serve as a therapist. Anyway, people like her were doctors. It will mark the downfall of this country's healthcare. She likes surgeries too much. She even tried to operate on a flu patient once. You think so? She was complaining earlier about narcosis for surgery being inelegant or something. She wouldn't say that if she weren't a doctor, right? You know, that was a joke for sure. She didn't like cracking jokes, but I like to think that Mato-san had some sense of humor. Otherwise, she wouldn't have appeared too sadistic or Spartan. And I have a question. Was your sister reanimated and put to a hospital? Asked Suranui. Yeah, apparently her head was damaged pretty hard when she lost conscience. Probably only piled up. Sometimes the bleeding won't stop. Sometimes only the brain, heart and airways functioned at all. That's what happens when you disregard common sense. Fall and you'll pay all your debts simultaneously. That's somehow not convincing, said the girl, pondering. Yeah, nonsense. Is there a word of truth in that? I'm not talking about that. It means that Senpai didn't do anything to be hated for. She was caught by Mato-san. Senpai himself has all the rights to be angry at his sister. She killed his mother, father, and has even torn off his hand. Mm, the killer of my parents, maniacal murderer, killing everyone around regardlessly. Who is the victim and who is the criminal? It was all crystal clear now, and everyone understands that there are many reasons to not sympathize with that. Nope, this story has a continuation, said Mato-san, returning to us. Near the building entrance was the possessed dragged by two detectives. She was still breathing, her hands and legs lifelessly hung like ropes, but she was alive. Mato-san wouldn't hurt even an ant today, even if she looked like an evil tomato. Good job, boss. Everything went as expected. The time it had taken for us to blink, Mato-san had opened the car door, took a paper cup and started washing off the fatigue with an improvised coffee, some 50 yen more expensive than ours. Great view, but we were pretty damn cold with the door open. Continuation? My sister's story didn't end with that? Well, Shiranui didn't mind the cold. Was her burning love to bloody stories that hot? Okay, Shiranui said that, so the sister's story didn't end with that. It didn't. Shosai's sister has one good reason to hate her brother. Should I tell you? Of course, Shiranui enthusiastically waved her small fists. Mato-san, with deep disgust, sipped her coffee. Then with a barely noticeable smile, she continued my story. It was the biggest miscalculation in Thomas' life. She averted her eyes from her still breathing foe. Knowing her, one could consider it a form of execution, but she couldn't kill the one she was going to take captive. It's only natural to avert one's eyes from an opponent defeated in a fair duel, and the policewoman's fatigue reached the peak. Her face showed no emotions, but she was on the edge. Just a bit more and she would have collapsed. The woman closed her eyes and let out a deep sigh. No one will judge her for such a trifling thing. Only the despicable opponent who decided to exploit that weakness could be judged. You are getting old, Taunty. It was too late to turn around. Like a doll on a string, a girl with a burning glare loomed over Thomas. What? Having prudently sneaked behind his sister, Ishizue Arika. Bam! Smack her head with a baseball bat. You are the one who finished her off? Christos suddenly shouted, spitting coffee in my face. Well, it just happened. If that killed Mato-san, I will be next. Haven't you thought of that? In the end, Mato-san was saved. That lost consciousness and was sent to a hospital. And when she opened her eyes, her first words were, "Do anything you want, but bring my stupid brother here." She spoke through her teeth. It's sad that this event degraded me from an Onichan to an alienated brother. Damn, he doesn't even get to be an Onichan anymore. Of course, you can get mad at that. I think Senpai showed his worst side to the highest extent here. What worst side? When you decide on something, you go through to it till the end, be it your resolve or your steely determination. Yup, that's logical, nodded Miss Tomato. Friendly girlish circle, what a sweet sight to see. Teehee? Well, that happens very rarely. What could I do? I was on a life or death situation. Wait, sorry, Kirisu. Let me out for a bit. I got a new message on my phone. I went outside into a deserted, ashy town. It started snowing pretty hard. Not a single person out on the street. Even the sounds coming from the office completely subsided. Finally, the scenery looked like the real end of the world. Okay, I'll come. In about 2 hours. What boss? Don't joke around. No bus will go through these snowed roads. It's okay. I'll walk. Alright, see you. I cut out the connection. Now I had plans until midnight. Senpai, who called? Then I returned to the car and collected my things from the front seats. Small stuff. Will you handle the car alright? I'll be going to my next job. Jobs? You are going to Kaio-san now. Come on, senpai, do it tomorrow. You were telling us how you were going to, at least today, crawl under a kotatsu. Rise your body temperature and slip away from everyone into a deep sleep. Right, that's why I'll go and get my New Year present. God, senpai, you're such a gigolo. Tss. I spent most of the day in an ambush, and in that basement awaits a comfortable sofa, provided a very peaceful sleep. Also, it's the last day of the year, and I still didn't get any presents. Bye. Thanks for the help, Suranui. Boo, I'm being shamelessly exploited again. I'm mad at you. So here's my last counterattack. What do you think about your sister? Damn, these handicapped network girls can't be underestimated. What, you know, Arika? Be it a sister or whatever, she killed your relatives. She's like a stranger to you, right? Whatever Kirisu says, we are still related by blood, no matter how much she kills. And she can break that relationship until one of us dies. And if so, that probably wants to kill me to become a stranger. Not really. I'll just say that I pray for her to never leave that hellish hospital. Turning my back to them. Well, see ya. Hey, wait. I also have a question. What's your sister's name? Kiriso quickly hopped out of the car. Come on already. I want to say it and avoided it as much as I could, but in the end, I was caught. Forgetting the maniac thing, Kiriso seems to have taken an interest in that. But damn, if he's serious, then that's the more of a reason to know for him to know it. Come on, tell me. Kanata. Ishisue Kanata. Yeah, just like that. Easy to remember. Kiriso pondered for a moment, then hit his hand with his fist. Ah, nice, I get it. Your parents are funny. Shosai here, Kanata there. What a friendly family. Oh man, they must have really loved puns. Nope, Kanata is from Fire and Axe. Fire Axe. An uncomfortable pause. We look at each other's serious faces for exactly 10 seconds. Well, how do you like it? Honestly, you shouldn't call a human that. Of course. But if you think about it, it sounds a bit cute. When you get used to it. Well, there we go. Thank you very much if you stick around for the whole playthrough. Now let's just look at the credits. of course, Nasu Kinoko as the scenario writer. And the character designer was Koyama. Now for the team that made this really good visual novel adaptation, I'll be honest, it's maybe simple, but everything was chosen very right from the music to the sprite work. It definitely gives it a very unique feeling to it. Kind of a bit like a Denpa visual novel in a way. Not usually what Nasu writes. This is a bit different for certain. Now, the I believe the sequel light novel was translated, but as for the third part, well, who knows if they will find the time to get to it. At least it's not a visual novel, so if they ever do, it shouldn't take nearly as long. Still, it was a very interesting experience. I definitely appreciate all the effort made into turning into a visual novel. If it's Type Moon, it just feels right to be a visual novel, you know? Alright, let's wrap it up for now. Who knows when there may be more DDD in the future someday. Thank you very much for watching here in Crimson Moon. Feel free to subscribe or follow if you wish to. Have a good day and take care.